The waves were tumbling, and Luo Feng's internal world became a bloody sea completely. Most of the land was devoured. The only land left was an island with a diameter of about 600,000 miles at the center of the bloody sea. At the center of the island was a dual world pool, where the golden horned beast digested everything after performing swallow. At its center was the golden horn world stone. Apart from the island, the internal world, which had a diameter of almost 60 million miles, was filled with a boundless bloody sea. The bloody waves were halved, and a huge figure wearing black armor with red trim walked out on the waves. It was the newly created remote ocean body, standing at a height of more than 5,500 miles with a life gene level of 1,000 times. "This is not good," remote ocean body murmured. The bloody waves were like springs, and he stood on top of them, riding them up and down. The entire internal world was within his sight. "The internal world has been completely flooded aside from the dual world pool, yet the bloody sea is still expanding. If the internal world keeps expanding, my core might not be able to withstand it." Most of Luo Feng's consciousness left the remote ocean body and returned to the core. He started to study it carefully. "Wait," he said. "My core seems to have changed completely." Indeed, the core had taken on a strange, blurry appearance after the majestic transformation, and it now seemed to be holding the 60 million mile internal world with ease. Normally, the larger an internal world became, the greater the burden it put on the core. For instance, if someone used the move, swallowing metal, to enlarge his internal world, he needed to use gold energies to strengthen his core. Only then could he have an enormous internal world. "For some reason, my core doesn't feel pressured at all," thought Luo Feng. "Does it mean the internal world can keep expanding? It's worth a try." Up in the sky above Luo Feng's boundless bloody sea, tons of universe crystal mountains appeared. One of them melted instantly. World energy beyond measure spread out and merged with the internal world. Until now, the bloody sea had been absorbing all the energy, but to make sure the bloody sea could keep expanding, the internal world needed more energy. The internal world devoured the world energies like a starving child. "Hong Long! Hong Long!" The world trembled. The bloody sea kept growing and growing. Atop the waves, remote ocean body guffawed. "Larger! My internal world can indeed grow larger! Fantastic! But the best way for the internal world to grow larger is for it to swallow metal instead of using universe crystals." The purest gold essence that the internal world could not absorb was concentrated on the golden horned world stone and would enhance the core, strengthening it so that it could carry a larger internal world. Once nearly every 1,000 years, the four pinnacle races would engage in war with one another, each time resulting in a tremendous amount of scrap metal left behind. Those remains could be reused if they were refined. Unfortunately, it was expensive to refine the remains, rendering them almost worthless. When it came to E-level alloy remains, they were always pricey. "I'll have 100 million mixed elements worth of scrap metal," said Luo Feng. "Mr. Luo Feng, the amount of material you require is lower than the quota of free items for you," came the response. "They're all free," Luo Feng grinned. An intact E-level spaceship worth 100 million mixed elements was gigantic, yet the equivalent was being given to him for free. This made scrap metal much more cost-effective than using universe crystals to expand his internal world, especially if they were being given to him for free. The golden horn beast went into a world ring with a diameter of more than 60,000 miles containing vast quantities of remains. Howl! Golden horn beast enlarged his body using deities of the world. He then opened his mouth and performed the talent technique. Swallow! The body opened its ocean-sized mouth, contorting the space within almost 60,000 miles. Hoo! Countless metal alloy remains flooded into his mouth as if swallowed in a vast abyss. The dual world pool digested all the metals, and a golden mist permeated, absorbed into the internal world. The internal world started to expand crazily. The gold essence that couldn't be ingested by the internal world was absorbed by the golden horned world zone. Strangely, the core wasn't changed by the internal world as it expanded. It seemed that swallowing metals wasn't beneficial to the core at all. "Weird," said Luo Feng. "My core has been morphing ever since I swallowed the metal to enlarge my internal world when I became a 9th level sector lord. Is it saturated?" Even with the help of the 9-volume manual, the original remote ocean body couldn't improve its life gene level after hitting 10,081 times. Was this also the case for the core? Was swallowing metal no longer useful because it had already reached its peak level? Doesn't matter, thought Luo Feng. I'll just let him swallow all the metal. He will be exhausted, but it will strengthen my golden horned world stone. Generally, strong golden horned beasts have internal worlds with diameters of 60 million miles, and golden horned world stones are treasured by universe knights. As for mine, only a few unique life forms could reach a life gene level of 10,081 times. Luo Feng wasn't sure if he was the only one or not. However, given how incredible the 9-volume manual was, Luo Feng reckoned that even if one individual among the golden horned beasts was as powerful as his, he would have been cultivated by a universe supreme master. Swallow the metal, Luo Feng commanded. Time to see how powerful my golden horned world stone can become. The amount of alloy remains Luo Feng needed shocked even the seniors responsible for Rubbish Starfield. He bought them in a world ring, and they had hardly ever seen anyone consuming scrap metal remains so fast. It's still not enough, Luo Feng realized. My internal world already has a diameter of more than 60 million miles, and it still hasn't hit its limit. Luo Feng was completely stunned. He didn't realize that his internal world was so enormous. Give me more alloy remains, he said. Luo Feng didn't take no for an answer. The larger my internal world is, the more stable and more powerful my future godly kingdom will be. Luo Feng looked forward to the results. When will my internal world stop expanding? Under normal circumstances, a world ring with a diameter of 60 million miles would only consume universe crystals worth several mixed elements. The reason why they were so cheap was that sector lords could resonate with the land of origin, priming unlimited universe energy and aggregating it into universe crystals. The price went down because they were easy to make. A world with a diameter of 6 billion miles would only consume 1 million mixed elements worth of universe crystals. A world with a diameter of 600 billion miles would only consume 1 trillion mixed elements worth of universe crystals. Luo Feng used alloy remains, which cost significantly less. However, he still used tens of billions of mixed elements worth of alloy remains. The amount was within his quota. Besides, Luo Feng didn't care much about the money. Any random treasure he had was worth at least 10 trillion mixed elements. The internal world continued swallowing world energy and expanding for more than 3 months. Golden Horn Beast only rested for a total of 1 hour a day for those 3 months, 6 naps a day for 10 minutes each. He used swallow continuously when he was awake, and the alloy remains kept being devoured. The diameter is 600 billion miles now, said Luo Feng. It has finally hit the limit. On top of the bloody waves, Masha body, Golden Horn Beast body, and Remote Ocean body all gazed out at the internal world in shock. This was inconceivable. A golden horned beast would normally only have an internal world with a diameter of 60,000 miles. This one was now 600 billion miles in diameter. What on earth happened to my core that it can carry such a vast internal world? Luo Feng wondered aloud. He was thrilled. He was aware that his core had evolved drastically after his mind gained the talent technique known as I am the universe. Masha body, Golden Horn Beast body, and Remote Ocean body all flew to the sky above Dual World Pool and looked down. 1, 2 flashes of light shot out from the Dual World Pool, causing ripples in the surrounding space. Although the Golden Horned World Stone was hidden in the Dual World Pool, it emitted a golden glow. Forming an internal world with a diameter of 600 billion miles had cost an outrageous amount of scrap metal, and the gold energy essence brought special changes to the Golden Horned World Stone. My Golden Horned World Stone might be the most powerful one in the history of the universe, Luo Feng thought. It might be one of a kind. Normally, Golden Horned World Stones are the precious possessions of universe knights. My Golden Horned World Stone is 1 trillion times stronger than average. It must be unique and highly valuable. Luo Feng could sense that this Golden Horned World Stone would be marvelous, but he wasn't able to see it yet. My internal world has reached its limit, he said. Golden Horned World Stone has also reached its limit. Haha. An internal world with a diameter of 600 billion miles. Bloody sea, show me how large you can expand. Luo Feng continued to expand the Bloody Sea. Tons of universe crystals were delivered into the internal world, and the Bloody Sea grew with unstoppable force. 1 mountain of universe crystals after another was delivered into the internal world, fueling the speed of the expansion of the Bloody Sea. As all the godly power contained a life imprint, losing godly power was equal to losing part of one's soul, which was exceedingly difficult to recover. It was easy for Sector Lord level Bloody Seas to expand and recover, as long as there were adequate energies. After a month, the Bloody Sea has finally stopped expanding, but its size is within my expectations, said Luo Feng. The towering remote ocean body stood on top of the bloody waves and looked at the boundless bloody sea. The crests of the crimson waves tumbled, and a bloody essence pervaded the entire internal world. Remote ocean body laughed loudly. The laughter sounded like thunder. The diameter is 6 billion miles, which is already bigger than all the bloody seas and small royal seas in 9 remoteness space. The difference between a life gene level of 10,081 times and 300 times is indeed impressive. Sector princes only had bloody seas with a diameter of 50 million miles, and even the royal seas of the undying princes only had a diameter of merely 600 million miles. By contrast, the royal seas of the universe night princes had diameters of 20 billion miles at least. The difference was due to the gap in life gene level. That was why Luo Feng's bloody sea was so enormous. The bloody sea has finished expanding, said Luo Feng. The third move of my star map will soon become a pinnacle technique. As long as I can fully comprehend gold law, I can break the shackles on the core, connect the law ocean, transform my godly power, and become undying. Luo Feng ordered the waiters in his palace to prepare a feast and invited his servants, including Tianqin Emperor and Jihong Emperor, to join in the meal with him. After the feast, I'll be devoted to studying gold law and trying to comprehend it. I will become undying after that. Luo Feng laughed. Honed Heart Emperor smiled. Our master's law comprehension has already reached the undying level, and he won more than 620,000 battles on the Bauhinia Island, where there were all kinds of talented heirs. Apparently, even when compared to the emperors of other races, our master is exceptionally strong. Master, you will surely become undying easily. If you can't succeed, who can? Tianqin Emperor added. We'll congratulate our master beforehand, for he will become undying soon. All the servants raised their glasses. How wonderful! Luo Feng raised his glass as well. Success in a single stroke, he said. Time to become undying. Luo Feng drank up. It was extremely difficult for some life forms to become undying. The bug clan queens and the cloud contact vines, for example, only became undying after their law comprehension could rival that of an emperor. Other beings like golden horn beasts also needed deeper law comprehension to break through because of the shackles on their cores. As for Luo Feng, his law comprehension was already at the undying level, and his beast god conception was at the 21st level of the heavenly bridge. His will was stronger than most universe knights, and his spiritual force amplification was 32 times. Powerful will, beast god conception, spiritual force amplification, self-created pinnacle techniques. These attributes formed a powerful combination. I'm already as strong as an invincible emperor, said Luo Feng. It'll be no problem for me to become undying in one stroke. Luo Feng looked forward to it. Perhaps the pinnacle techniques he had created were slightly inferior to invincible emperors, but his will and beast god conception were superior to theirs. There's no way I can't have my breakthrough. I'll study and try to comprehend the gold law. Luo Feng had stopped studying gold law a long time ago, as he was on the edge of fully comprehending it. Once he fully comprehended gold law, he would become undying, and there was no going back. He would have broken through before he had finished his third body. Gold law, thought Luo Feng as he sat down in his palace with his legs crossed. Tianqin Emperor and Jihong Emperor both waited behind him. While half of Luo Feng's mind was comprehending gold law, and the other half was creating and perfecting the third move of Star Map. His law comprehension was almost at the same level as that of universe knights, and studying gold law was like a graduate student studying elementary school subjects. But even grad students were susceptible to careless mistakes. He needed to study it carefully. In the most towering palace of Thousand Treasures River, Primal Chaos City Leader stood on the top floor of the towering palace, leaning against the handrail. The territory within Thousand Treasures River was entirely within his sight. He gazed at Luo Feng's palace. It's been 1,500 years since he came back from 9 remoteness space, and he's been creating the third move for his pinnacle technique ever since, said Primal Chaos City Leader. Why hasn't he become undying now that his move has become a pinnacle technique? Is he still comprehending gold law? Although it's difficult to make a breakthrough at the last step, his law comprehension is extremely thorough. He must be able to finish it. Primal Chaos City Leader was perplexed. This disciple of his had already completed his third body, and his law comprehension had already reached the pinnacle undying level. Why was he delaying? Luo Feng had been studying the gold law in his palace for 300 years when he opened his eyes and smiled. "So, this is gold," he said. A sense of completion filled his heart, a sense of satisfaction of fully comprehending a universe law. Hong! A connection suddenly linked Luo Feng and the gold law ocean of the land of origin. Boundless amounts of force were transferred from the gold law ocean. The core inside Luo Feng's body was originally an origin pearl, but upon absorbing the energy from the gold law ocean, it took on human form, a shape that looked like Luo Feng. The law comprehension is completed, and the origin has gained its shape, thought Luo Feng. The core is broken, and undying power fueled it. The soul and the body now merge. These were the basic steps to become undying. The core became a space all its own. When the origin pearl turned into the shape of Luo Feng waved his hands, and the energies became crystal balls. Complex law engravings were etched on each of the 1,600 crystal balls. Warriors and spiritual force leaders alike relied on origin pearls to become undying. As for the spiritual force weapons they used after the origin pearls took shape, they transformed from the energies. Howl! 1,600 crystal balls made up the bone structure of a beast god after being connected by countless law threads. Each scale on the beast god acquired exquisite details. Beast god conception, spiritual force amplification, all the consciousness and mind. Break the shackles. Become undying. Break, break, break. All of Luo Feng's bodies had fallen asleep, and all his mind focused on the breakthrough. With the help of the gold law force from the universe, Luo Feng reached his limit. Inside the core, the beast god roared and bashed against the periphery of the core with his outrageous conception. At this moment, the beast god looked like a ball of flame. It hit the inner wall of the core like a burning star. Hong! The third move of Star Map. Star and Fire Soaring Sky. It was based on the bone structure of the golden horn beast. All the attacking power passed along the bones, and then the golden horn beast would ram the enemies with its head. Perhaps the move was not as swift as the first and the second move, but it was far mightier. Hong! The internal wall of the core started to tremble. The core started to crack. Caw crack! Hoo! The cracks on the core started to blur. Suddenly, all the cracks disappeared. The core remained intact. Just as Luo Feng used the most powerful attack, the force from the land of origin dissipated. How was it possible? Luo Feng roared. Break! Hong! The golden horn beast hit the internal wall of the core like a fireball, steaming energy surrounding him. Hong! 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 The golden horn beast bashed the core time and time again. Each time, there were cracks after the crash, but the core recovered automatically. Pun! After more than 10 crashes, the beast god crumbled, and the crystal pearls were all crushed. Luo Feng stood in the dark space, dumbfounded. How is this possible? He muttered. Why can't I become undying? I have a will that is stronger than most universe knights. Beast god conception, spiritual force amplification, pinnacle techniques. I have all of them. My will and my beast god conception are especially powerful. I can't even break the shackles on my core with all these combined? Why? Luo Feng just couldn't accept this. With his will, beast god conception, spiritual force amplification, and pinnacle techniques all at the same level as invincible emperors, he had thought that becoming undying would be a piece of cake for him. A sector lord who could rival an invincible emperor in every way couldn't become undying? This was inconceivable. Even though it was difficult for him to break the shackles, he was already high-achieving at all aspects, and was second only to universe knights. Every bite and every sip are preordained, thought Luo Feng. Every bite and every sip are preordained. Fortune and misfortune are neighbors. Luo Feng sat in the space of the core, shook his head and sighed. He had obtained the 9-volume manual, and his remote ocean body had reached the pinnacle life gene level. What's more, he had been bestowed a set of talent techniques by the universe. His core was so sturdy that his internal world had expanded to a diameter of 600 billion miles, and his bloody sea now had a diameter of over 6 billion miles. Everything was so wonderful. Little did Luo Feng realize while he was thrilled by the power of his core, he wouldn't be able to break its shackles. How can I become undying? Luo Feng murmured. He smirked. I've never doubted for a second that I can make my breakthrough and become undying. I never expected that even at this level I still wouldn't be able to break the shackles. Luo Feng opened his eyes. Tianqin Emperor and Jihong Emperor screamed. Master! Master, are you going to become undying? Tianqin Emperor asked. Luo Feng waved his hands. Get out. Yes, master. Tianqin Emperor and Jiheng Emperor were a bit confused. They hadn't expected Luo Feng to fail at becoming undying. After all, in their eyes, it would be the biggest joke in the history of the universe if even Luo Feng couldn't become undying. Alone in the silent palace, Luo Feng walked up the stairs of the side palace to the top floor. He leaned against the handrail and looked at the Thousand Treasures River. I've never given up, said Luo Feng. Not since the first day I stepped outside my home city on Earth. His eyes gleamed. Even if the shackles on my core are outstandingly powerful, that won't stop me from becoming undying. Treasures won't help me break the shackles, thought Luo Feng. I need to rely on my law comprehension, techniques, spiritual force amplification, and willpower. It's difficult to improve my willpower in the short term. Same with my spiritual force amplification. As for my beast god conception and law comprehension, they're already the best among anyone beneath the level of Universe Knight. Only secret techniques can help me advance sharply, he realized. Luo Feng thought about this. Among the heirs on Bauhinia Island, there are heirs who eventually created ultimate techniques after devoting time to their techniques. For instance, my teacher True Yin Knight spent hundreds of millions of years studying his talent technique, and it's now almost at the ultimate level. True Yin Knight didn't even have the advantages Luo Feng had. After all, he didn't have the instructions of Primal Chaos City Leader. I can accomplish what they accomplished. I'll create my ultimate techniques, and they will improve my power dozens of times. I don't believe I won't be able to make it. Luo Feng pursed his lips, and his eyes glinted fiercely. And if I still can't do it, I'll sharpen my willpower and improve my beast god conception. No matter what, I'll only accept success. No failure allowed. Luo Feng tightened his grip on the handrail so hard that it bent beneath his fingers. He turned around and went back into his palace while the handrail gradually recovered. There was memory metal inside the handrail. Though Luo Feng would spend time with his family and learn about how his family had prospered, most of his mind was devoted to studying the talent technique even when he was with his family. This time, Luo Feng didn't study into the blade technique. Instead, he concentrated on star map. 100 years passed. 200 years, 900 years, 1,000 years. Time flew. After 3,000 years, inside the training field of the virtual universe. Fall, said Luo Feng. He stood at the apex of the remains, pointing at a distant rock life form. 1,600 crystal balls were connected, forming the tail of a beast god. Countless law threads became entangled and formed a beast god. The tail was surreally tangible, while the other parts of the body appeared blurry and indistinct. Howl! After a growl, the beast god rushed at the rock life. Hong! Long! Long! Superheated fire burst out of the rock life, but a phantom of countless raindrops was waiting for him. The beast god moved swiftly. His tail moved 100 times faster than his body. His tail left a blur behind it like raindrops, filling the space and time around him. The raindrops appeared harmless, but the rock life form roared with anger and fear as the illuminated raindrops penetrated every inch of its body. Pun! The rock life trembled and was annihilated. Hit the light racing star, thought Luo Feng. The starlight spread all over the universe. The first move is completed. Luo Feng nodded. Luo Feng, said a voice. A shadow in a golden cape appeared, flying toward him from afar. It was Primal Chaos City Leader. Teacher. Luo Feng saluted him. Primal Chaos City Leader looked a little confused. For the past 3,000 years, you've been studying the first move of your star map, and now, you've finally made the first move ultimate technique level, but why did you spend so much time creating techniques? You could have made your breakthrough and become undying already. I'm not powerful enough, Luo Feng said respectfully. Primal Chaos City Leader shook his head and smiled, thinking Luo Feng was being too modest. You're full of humility, he said. Tell me, when do you want to become undying? After making my first 3 moves ultimate level, Luo Feng answered. The first 3 moves? Primal Chaos City Leader was startled. It was very challenging to create ultimate techniques. Otherwise, more individuals would have come up with them. Few had achieved this even on Bauhinia Island, where hundreds of millions of peerless talents lived. The first move was based on the first level beast god inheritance, and it was self-explanatory. The second move was based on the second level beast god inheritance, and was far more difficult. As for the third move, it was exceedingly strenuous. Luo Feng was creating these ultimate techniques from an advantageous position. His horizons were broad, and his law comprehension was deep. Together with step-by-step instructions from Primal Chaos City Leader, he could create the first ultimate technique in 3,000 years. How long will it take? Primal Chaos City Leader asked. As long as is required, Luo Feng answered respectfully. Primal Chaos City Leader was a bit surprised. From his perspective, Luo Feng's fame only would make him hurry to become undying. Okay, Primal Chaos City Leader said. I'm in no rush. Sector Lords and the Land of Origin in the universe have clearer connections, and you're more suitable to create appropriate techniques at this level. However, even if I'm instructing you and setting competitors for you, you'll soon realize that you're incapable of defending yourself against those competitors. It'll be up to you to decide how to make the breakthrough. I know, Luo Feng said deferentially. Teacher, I shall appreciate your instruction forever. Then suit yourself, said Primal Chaos City Leader, and he stopped advising him on the matter. As a supreme being who had lived practically as long as the human race, Primal Chaos City Leader understood the virtues of patience. Luo Feng went back to study the second move, which was apparently much more difficult than the first one. Fortunately, Luo Feng was accomplished in more than enough on law comprehension. He spent 8,000 years conquering all the obstacles gradually, and finally made the second move ultimate level. Yeah! A special life form with scales on its wings screamed, and its voice pierced through Luo Feng's ears. Luo Feng stayed still, unaffected by it. The 2,000th competitor, he said. This is the day for you to fall. Luo Feng controlled the gigantic beast god in the sky. 5,200 crystal balls were still on his tail, yet the entire beast god was distinct now. The towering beast god was 1,800 miles long. The flying special life form flew like a beam of black light. All the stars and planets touched by the black light were annihilated, yet the beast god remained floating in the sky. The two special life forms were about to crash. Luo Feng's eyes glinted ferociously. He had already been defeated by this competitor more than 900 times. Kill, he commanded. The beast god's tail finally started to move. It became a beam of shining red light like a star about to be annihilated. The red light flitted silently past that charging black light, and the black light vanished. Hua! A huge crack showed up in the sky, and an enormous shockwave shook the surroundings. Hong! Long! Long! The sound wave couldn't stop. Splendid like stars, Luo Feng murmured. The red light rips the nightfall like a blade. The second move is finished. The first move of the ultimate technique known as Star Map was finished after 3,000 years. The second move took 8,000 years. Luo Feng then started to study the third move. He had been able to finish creating the first two moves thanks to the competitors Primal Chaos City Leader provided. Those competitors were designed to reveal the disadvantages of Luo Feng's secret techniques. Other than the competitors, Luo Feng had already completed the third-level Beast God Inheritance, and together with the help of Golden Horn Beast's body and Masha body, it wasn't a huge burden for him to create the first two ultimate techniques. Masha body's space comprehension could help him merge with space completely. Golden Horn Beast had merged with numerous blood river crystals and had ample inspiration when looking at the Beast God sculpture. However, Luo Feng ran into trouble when creating the third move. His law comprehension and beast god conception were not inadequate for creating the third move for the ultimate technique. He beat one competitor after another and kept deducing and empowering the third move. It took him 20,000 years to beat the 1,520th competitor, and the following competitors would only get stronger and stronger. It seemed that it would take him hundreds of thousands of years, maybe even 1,000,000 years to create the third move. Inside the core, the form of Luo Feng that had transformed from the origin pearl was casting the second move of the ultimate technique. He tried to cast the unfinished third move to attack the inner wall of the core. Break! He roared. Break! Now! Hong! The inner wall trembled and shattered, yet that blurry steam stayed intact. I still haven't succeeded, said Luo Feng. Will I really have to spend 1,000,000 years creating the third move? Luo Feng grew nervous. For the past 30,000 years, he had remained in seclusion. This provoked rumors among the other races, even within the human race, as they all presumed that Blade River Emperor would become undying soon. Yet there had been no news. This Blade River Emperor, who had previously roamed the universe, seemed to have disappeared. I've become so impatient, Luo Feng realized, finally coming to his senses. 30,000 years of meditation, combined with the rumors from the outside, had indeed affected him. If I can't accomplish my goal now, I might as well get out and tour the universe a bit. I've been around for such a long time, but I haven't seen the universe yet. All I've done is fight. Luo Feng suddenly wanted nothing more than to take a tour of the universe. The timing was right. It was now or never. Luo Feng's Masha body went to a remote territory of the universe through God Country transportation of his undying slaves. He then started to wander through the universe. The universe was resplendent and mysterious. Luo Feng saw a planet made up entirely of platinum. He witnessed a peculiar scene involving 108 associated stars and toured each one of them. He slept on a neutron star. He even discovered a valuable left by an undying fighter. Of course, he didn't care about it. He also tried to investigate a black hole, yet when he went too deep into it, he felt a tearing power so strong that even the undying Masha body couldn't bear it. The space ripple was completely destroyed. Thus, he wasn't able to transport himself and flee. Fortunately, he escaped the core of the black hole with his domain talent technique. Sometimes, he would just lie on a meteorite and float through the universe. Luo Feng also went stealthily to the territories of other races, as Masha body could replicate the shapes and auras of other races. Luo Feng passed by like a tourist, observing the environments and the emotions of the other races. These experiences while wandering the universe granted Luo Feng renewed inspiration. The past 30,000 years of meditation had barely improved his willpower, whereas wandering in the universe made his willpower evolve naturally. In the past, all I knew was to fight to kill and to become stronger, thought Luo Feng. But there is so much beauty in the universe. The other races' cultures have their own unique charms, even if they are different from mine. These cultures have survived for eons. They all deserve appreciation. Each time I comprehend the culture of another race, it transforms my soul. Half of Luo Feng's mind was taking in the wonders of the universe while the other half was practicing. This mental partition was actually much more efficient. In the past, he could only derive inspiration from looking at the beast god sculpture, but he now found that there were universe origin laws everywhere in the universe, like the birth, growth, and annihilation of a star. All the grasses, beasts, and rivers contained universe laws. The processes present in planetary environments were miniature versions of the processes of the universe as a whole. Sometimes, Luo Feng got so much inspiration that he made one breakthrough after another. Other times, he would constantly be defeated by the same competitor, but he chose to remain tranquil. After wandering in the universe for a long time, Luo Feng's state of mind gradually merged with the universe. Without even realizing it, his competitor would be defeated. In a remote territory of the universe, on a life planet in the prison race territory, near the 6 pinnacle races. In the space surrounding the planet flew a 1,000-foot-long giant creature with 18 claws. He had scales all over his body, and his head appeared to be made of metal. There were golden flames in his eyes. This life planet was facing a catastrophe. Undying power spread and enveloped the planet. The entire planet was under his control. "Ha ha!" the creature roared. "Creeping bugs! Bow to the great Shadow Emperor. From today on, this planet will belong to Shadow Emperor, and all you creeping, crawly bugs must answer to the great Shadow Emperor. If anyone dares to defy him, we will kill you!" On the planet lived more than 10 different races and millions of creatures. The weakest of them were at the Star Traveler level. There were even dozens of sector lords. "Shadow Emperor!" they cried. "Shadow Emperor has advanced his territory to our planet. And the leader of his army is the goddamn undying fighter known as Utoa damn Utoa. Luo Feng, watching from a distance, transformed his Masha body into a sector lord of this race. "Interesting," he said. He looked up and saw the undying fighter in outer space. "The prison race is so unique. Instead of stopping their subsidiary races from killing each other, they intensified it, resulting in widespread slaughter. In the past 50,000 years of wandering in the universe, Luo Feng had visited the territories of the crystal race and the prison race to study them. The 6 pinnacle races in the universe lived around the center of the universe, while crystal race and prison race lived in remote areas. All the creatures born in the peculiar region known as prison would be considered members of the prison race. The seniors within the prison race had no limits to the subsidiary races. Under the rule of the prison race, one slaughter after another occurred within those subsidiary races. Some were totally annihilated. However, some great beings would be born in the midst of such massacres, and those great beings were admitted by the prison race. The crystal race behaved completely opposite to prison race. All the creatures within the crystal race were of the same clan, and they stuck together. The bond within crystal race was stronger even than the automaton race. Sometimes, some great beings within the crystal race would cooperate with each other, empowering them exponentially. The individuals within the prison race were strong while the crystal race as a whole was strong. They were two completely different races, which led to constant, ferocious conflicts. The human race, automaton race, demon race, and bug race fought each other because their territories were close, but the prison race and crystal race did so because of their innate hatred for each other. This planet was in chaos. Masha Luo Feng watched everything happening in silence. He had already seen many planets around the prison race being conquered, and he always watched it like a bystander and left. All the creatures of Taika race will be executed, the undying fighter known as Utawa roared. His voice spread across the entire planet. Kill all the creature of Taika race. Kill! The Sector Lord warriors under him started to roam the planet. There were more than 10 races on the planet, and Taika race was only one of them. It was the only race that hadn't admitted defeat. A cry rose up among the Taika race. Shadow Emperor is a demon who destroyed our home and kept hunting us. Fight! Kill! Kill all the bastards! Kill them! Children! Run! Take the children! They are our future! Take them and run! There were more than 100,000 creatures of the Taika race on this planet, some of whom tried to escape, while others stayed and fought. However, when the first spaceship carrying members of the Taika race was annihilated by Uwatuo's undying power, they all fell into despair. They realized that they couldn't match the undying fighter. Kill! Kill! Fight! Other races on the planet didn't interfere. There were only 6 Sector Lords within the Taika race while there were 100 Sector Lord warriors in the invading army. And the leader was an undying fighter. Taika race will be annihilated, thought Luo Feng, observing it all in silence. This kind of thing happened all the time. It was likely happening this very minute somewhere else in the universe. Said Luo Feng. He noticed a silhouette afar. The most shining member of the Taika race, a mere teenager, had just killed 2 Sector Lord warriors. At the moment, he was temporarily holding his own against 10 Sector Lord warriors. Many beings within the Taika race were screaming, "Pa Na, run! Pa Na, run now!" Apparently, this teenager had a high reputation among his race. He might even be the leader of all the beings of Taika race living on that planet. "Ha ha! There's Pa Na," said Uwatoa. "Shadow Emperor is looking for you." Uwatoa dove toward the teenager. "Run!" the teenager ordered. "Yes," the other beings of the Taika clan said, seizing the chance to flee while Utoawa dealt with Pa Na. Utoawa seemed not to care about the others. Clearly, he considered Pa Na much more valuable. "Come, Uwatoa," said Pa Na. There was madness in his eyes and a trace of satisfaction. "Me in exchange for tens of thousands of my people. Worth it." "Moron," Utoawa sneered. Masha Luo Feng watched it all in silence. It suddenly struck him that the look on that talented teenager's face resembled the faces of Jaya, M.O. Henderson, Tripathi Singh, Sokolov, and East, who had gone to fight the golden horned beast with him. Despairing but calm. "Time to return," Masha Luo Feng murmured. Pa Na felt powerless. He couldn't defend himself against Utoawa. He knew that he was doomed as the ugly claw of Utoawa grabbed him. Suddenly it started to rain. Raindrops filled the sky. Raindrops? Pa Na was dazed. Then the raindrops all disappeared, and the Sector Lord warriors of the invaders, along with Utoawa, all froze. There was a strange sound poo, and Utoawa's godly body suddenly vanished into thin air. The Sector Lord warriors standing afar exploded all at once. Dead? Pa Na looked around in shock. He looked at the bloody remains, the weapons, and the empty armor left by the annihilated Utoawa. Jian! A shadow of a being standing afar put his blade into his sheath. "A blade," said Pa Na. "Those raindrops were a blade striking." Pa Na found it hard to believe that this shrouded figure standing afar was only a Sector Lord. How could a Sector Lord kill an undying fighter so easily? Masha Luo Feng turned around and looked at him. He smiled, then disappeared. Memories had flooded Luo Feng's mind when he'd seen the look on that teenager's face. He had wanted to help him. To Luo Feng, it didn't make a huge difference, as it was simply a change of heart. This planet was the last destination of his tour of the universe, because half a month before Luo Feng arriving there, he had created the third move for his ultimate technique. "Time to become undying!" After wandering through the universe for 50,000 years, Masha Luo Feng went back to the primal region of the human territory. Within the Thousand Treasures River of the primal region of human territory. When Luo Feng stepped back into the human territory, he immediately felt a sense of belonging. He was home. "This is home," he said. His original earthling body, sitting in the palace with his legs crossed, finally got up, walked out of the palace, and started to tour the palaces within the Thousand Treasures River. As he walked among the palaces, Luo Feng recalled all the scenes he had witnessed in the universe while wandering. He was shocked by everything that had happened in the past 50,000 years, but it was all so clear when he looked back as if it all followed a set of guidelines. The servants in front of the palace watched Luo Feng walk past. "Look, it's Luo Feng. It's rare that Luo Feng ever walks out of his palace." Some of them only dared to pass messages through their mind, as they didn't have the guts to speak up. After all, they were only servants, while Luo Feng was the disciple of Primal Chaos City Leader, the master of this space and time. AI, that Luo Feng could kill an emperor limit before, but he's been MIA for the past 80,000 years. There hasn't been any news about him becoming undying. He could have become undying a long time ago. Why does he stay a sector lord for such a long time? To comprehend space law, of course. After all, it's more beneficial to do so when you're a sector law. He must have been acknowledged by space law a long time ago. Becoming undying wouldn't slow him down. Who knows what's in his mind? He's a peerless talent. Luo Feng walked towards them. "Mr. Luo Feng!" The servants saluted him, and Luo Feng glanced at them with a smile on his face. He could read the servants' minds after so many experiences in the universe. Apparently, his disappearance for the past 80,000 years had led to some controversies, but Luo Feng still smiled even though he knew they were talking about him being able to look through them and comprehend some operation law of the universe pleased him. Although they're undying, they've been servants for billions of years, thought Luo Feng. It has affected their minds. Perhaps they'll never become universe knights. The thought flashed through Luo Feng's mind, and then he kept walking. The scenes he had witnessed during his journey were playing in his mind like films on a screen. In the main palace of Thousand Treasures River, Primal Chaos City Leader sensed that Luo Feng, who had been in seclusion for 80,000 years, had finally walked out of the palace. He saw Luo Feng through all the buildings. He was walking with a smile so natural and authentic that it revealed his tranquil mental state. "Huh!" said Primal Chaos City Leader, looking startled. "He's morphing?" Primal Chaos City Leader could tell that all the experiences and inspirations Luo Feng had cultivated in the past 50,000 years were about to spur his significant transformation, like a scholar who had accumulated a plethora of research and was finally on the brink of an epiphany. Luo Feng was clearly on the brink of something incredible. For the past 50,000 years, he had witnessed and experienced so much that everything manifested the operation law of the universe in Luo Feng's eyes. "It's a morphing of the mental state," Primal Chaos City Leader realized, gasping in admiration. "My disciple is a genius!" For about 5 hours, Luo Feng recalled everything he had witnessed and experienced in the past 50,000 years. He broke into laughter when he recalled how he had saved that teenager of the Taika race. In the past 5 hours, his mental state had been sharply improved, and his mental state reached an extraordinary level. He didn't need to deliberately strengthen his willpower anymore, as his mental state was tranquil and still as the starry sky. He didn't need to resist the illusion anymore, as the illusion was nothing compared to the wonders of the actual universe. Now even Chaos City Leader couldn't tell directly how Luo Feng had improved his mental state. After fighting for his family and his brothers when he was a teenager, after sacrificing everything to fight the Golden Horn Beast and being resurrected after the hustle and bustle of the talent battle, after the obsession with life and death inheritance. And finally, after 50,000 years of witnessing the mysteries in the universe, his willpower was already as strong as that of a universe overlord. Perhaps the only ones with willpower stronger than Luo Feng were universe masters. "Time's up," realized Luo Feng. "It's now time to become undying." Luo Feng was excited, as he thought it was natural and only right that he should become undying now. He walked back to his palace and sat down with his legs crossed. His mental state was like still, deep waters. Within his core, the version of Luo Feng who had transformed from the origin pearl opened his eyes. Aggression shot out from Luo Feng's eyes. They were peaceful like the sky and oceans, yet they were as keen as blades, glinting fiercely. "Break the shackles," he said. "I will become undying!" Luo Feng waved his hands. 16,000 pearls floated in the sky, and law engravings were densely dotted on them. The pearls connected with each other immediately and formed the skeleton of an aggressive, powerful beast god. Star and fire soaring sky, Luo Feng whispered. Crash and burn earth shattering. Hong! The beast god floating in the sky moved with a madness that showed he was ready and willing to crash and burn. Flames burned on his skin, trembling the core. Luo Feng's willpower, which couldn't be sharpened further, coupled with his beast god conception having been trained for 80,000 years, infused the beast god with tremendous power. He charged at the inner wall directly and smashed into it as if he were about to crumble. Crash and burn! Earth shattering! The third move of Star Map, Star and Fire Soaring Sky, Crash and Burn and Earth Shattering. Hong! The inner wall shook, followed by a loud sound. Pun! The wall was obliterated. After 80,000 years, the third move was completed. The first move, literally, hit the light racing star. The starlight spread all over the universe. Was fast and light like constant raindrops. For the second move, splendid like stars, the red light rips the nightfall like a blade. There was only one trick to it, its speed. The key benefit of this move was its speed. It wouldn't attack enemies millions of times like the first move. On the contrary, it made produced one attack. However, it was incredibly fast and powerful. The third move, Star and Fire Soaring Sky, Crash and Burn and Earth Shattering, was all about power. It was slower than the second move, but it was more than 10 times more powerful than the second move. The second move relied on the tail of the beast god, whereas the third relied on its entire body. It was definitely extremely powerful, and it would make enemies crash and burn. Each successive move was more mysterious and intricate than the previous one. Luo Feng broke the core shackles and immediately turned from the origin pearl connected to the gold law ocean of the land of origin in the universe. Gold law energy arrived at above Luo Feng's palace. Hong! Long! Gold power flooded in. Some sector lords would only become ordinary undying fighters, which meant they only needed a small amount of godly power to make their bodies undying. But some powerful sector lords would become emperors the moment they became undying. They needed much more godly power, but the maximum was 100,000 times that of a sector lord. As for Luo Feng, his original earthling body had a life gene level of over 3,000 times, and his original earthling body became 300 million times stronger than sector lords once it became undying. His body was already far more powerful than most universe knights, as universe knights with a life gene level of 10 times only possessed strength 100 million times higher than sector lords. Hong! Long! Unlimited gold godly power poured in. A godly body 300 million times stronger than that of a sector lord required an incredible amount of undying power. However, though Masha body didn't require much undying power, Luo Feng's golden horn beast body was 600 million times stronger than a sector lord. Besides, he was over 600 miles long, and thus required much more undying power than the original earthling body. But the most outrageous requirement belonged to the Bloody Sea. The Bloody Sea had a diameter of 6 billion miles, and its life gene level was perfect. It was 1 billion times stronger than a sector lord. It required hundreds of millions of times more undying power than the golden horn beast did. A human universe knight's godly body would only need godly power equivalent to a billionth of the Bloody Sea. That was why Nine Remoteness Master was invincible in the universe with his Nine Remoteness Ocean, which could rival the most powerful true treasures in the universe. It wasn't a big deal when someone became undying. Even when someone became a universe knight, it wasn't that much of a scene. But Luo Feng becoming undying was impressive. It was a spectacle thousands of times greater than True Yen Emperor becoming a universe knight. After all, he surpassed universe knights in terms of quality. As for the quantity of undying power, it was hundreds of millions of times more than human universe knights, all thanks to the Bloody Sea. Onlookers were stunned. What happened? They asked one another. What's going on? Gold origin law arrived. Did someone become undying? But how can becoming undying cause such a scene? Within the Thousand Treasures River, some universe knights and lots of undying servants looked to the sky above Luo Feng's palace in shock. Golden light almost enveloped the entire Thousand Treasures River. They could hardly remember a time when they had seen anything like this. Even some universe knights were thrilled. Becoming a universe knight is nothing compared to this. However, those universe knights and undying servants could only see the surface. Primal Chaos City leader stood on top of the main palace, leaning against the handrail and looking up at the sky. The gold origin law had completely enfolded Thousand Treasures River. It was inconceivably powerful, already more powerful than when someone became a universe knight. Other great beings couldn't see the mysteries behind this, but Primal Chaos City Leader could see dimly that the undying power was pouring into Thousand Treasures River, which revealed how vigorously Luo Feng was absorbing the undying power. Luo Feng has become undying. Even Primal Chaos City Leader was dazed. He stood there watching, speechless for a long while.